Hello, hello, hello. Where'd it go? It is Friday, January 9th, I believe. I'm not sure what day it is. What today's date? It's either the 8th or the 9th. But it is Friday. Thank God you all made it to the end of the week. Giving all honor and glory to the Most High for waking us up on today so that we have a chance to be better today than we were yesterday. Look at 18. 18, my God. 18. One thing 18 gonna do, she gonna show up and show out, boy. Glad you're here. How are you doing? Are you healing up well? You know we was all saying prayers for you, but we know God got you. He got you. So today I don't want to talk about this beep. She got me tight, y'all. Oh my gosh, she got me tight. Still, I'm not as irritated right now today as I was last night, but I'm still bothered. And I'm trying to pray this thing away. So maybe there's something I need to do on my end. But for those of you guys that don't know, I am a board member for my HOA, for my division. And there is one nemesis on the board. Well, actually there's two, but he's calmed down a lot in the last 2 months. From the last 2 meetings, he's calmed down a lot. But there's one person on the board that really gets my panties in a wedgie. Yes. I'm going to try not to say her name, but I know I'm probably going to slip up and say that lady's name. So anyways, what had happened was last month, first of all, let me just say, A-Team says, I just went in for a colonoscopy and an upper GI. Okay. Blessings on that. I used to work GI. That's like learning a whole new field in the medical world. GI was no joke. And GI, you have to be very, very careful. You have to pay attention to detail. Everything is detail oriented. No matter what position you play, you have to be extremely careful. GI is a specialty that ain't no joke. Just from clipping the samples from the colon and labeling those tissue samples, everything has to be perfect. The way you label it, the time you get it down to the lab, well, it sits in some juice, but the time you get it down to the lab, from cleaning the instruments, I mean, everything has to be damn near perfect. And that's one of those high profile departments, GI. So you don't mess around with GI. GI ain't no joke. That's just how serious it is for patients, right? Just because a lot of things go undetected for so many years. And if you label a sample wrong and say, oh, you got it from the ileum versus the upper, you know what I'm saying? It might mess some things up and they might not catch what it is that they're looking for. So yeah, GI, that's one thing we always have to pay attention to, because everything starts in the gut. Everything from what you consume and how your gut, uses it. So I hope everything went okay. It is very meticulous. Everything. We see our patients before, talk to them, brief them about what's going to happen. You talk to your doc, all that good stuff. You come in, you get the procedure, you go under. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they put you under. You're under anesthesia. So you have an anesthesiologist. Like, they put you everything to get that done, because they're going up your colon. It's literally like a 6-foot hose. And even though the colon is malleable, You can't just shove a freaking tube, which is bendable too, but it's not very bendable. It's like it's literally a hose. So you have to be very slow and delicate when you're going and, you know, through that. I can't see. Yeah, you can rip skin easily if you don't. Yeah, so everything. And there's instruments on the very end of that, you know, and we stick things on the other end that goes all the way down to the opening, you know, the machine that clips it and nips it, and you pull it back out, and then he takes it out, hands it to the tech. You know, we do our thing. You know, you put the machine to burn, that goes all the way through that too. So you burn in skin and all that stuff. Clamps, all kind of stuff. So you have to be very careful from the time it goes in all the way to when it reaches that patient's body. You got to make sure it comes back out. I mean, there's just so much to GI. It's crazy. You inject stuff. It's a lot. So yeah, I'm glad that your colonoscopy went well. Yeah, and I hope that all your labs come back great. It did a lady coded earlier that day. I told the anesthesiologist to push me slowly. That's right. And sometimes you have to speak up for yourself, because the doctors and the nurses and the techs, they be in their own world and they're human too, right? But sometimes they need a reminder, like, hey, I need you to remember in this moment, I am a human. You're not just doing a job. I'm somebody's mother. I'm somebody's daughter. I'm somebody's wife. You know what I'm saying? Take care of me, you know? And even though it's par for the course, sometimes you have to say it. Oh, we got you. But just that little reminder will stick in their head when they're actually doing what it is that they got to do. Yes, wishing you healing and continued success. Hey, Riaz. Hey, Couch. That's good. You're doing good. That's they only practice. That's all they just practicing. That remind me of that joke. Who was it that said it on Def Comedy Jam? Chris Tucker. He said, I'm so broke that if a nigga robbed me, he'd just be practicing. They just practicing. I seen the doctor pull out his Palm Pilot, because I asked him a question and he didn't know the answer to. I said, I know you lying. Did you have to just research that? They practicing. And if it works, it works. If it don't, we give you something else. We'll try something else. So anyways, A-Team got me off my square. Where was I? Where was I? Yeah, this HOA board. So this lady with her Karen having behind, but what is the name for a black Karen? What's the black Karen's name? I was asking somebody last night, I was like, what do we call her if she black? And he said Keisha. I said, I don't like that. I know some cool Keishas. We got to come up with something else. And then we settled for her real name, because her real name fits, but I ain't gonna say it. Black Karen. Blaring. I like that. So 2 months prior, mind you, she don't even come to the meetings like she's supposed to. She's supposed to be this highfalutin, all this or whatever. I will give her this. She is very, very smart, very educated, very experienced in certain things, right? She works for the government. She's set, right? And she brings brilliant ideas to the board. I'm not even gonna lie. However, you could be the smartest, most intelligent, or even the most beautiful person. But if you have a negative attitude and a horrible disposition about yourself, none of that matters. None of that matters. And she lets the devil use her every time she comes to a meeting. Now, mind you, 2 months ago, we sat in a meeting, right? Because we have our Christmas meeting where we bring food and fellowship and all that. We have a quick little meeting and then we eat. The month before that, everybody was getting into it with everybody, right? And she usually is at the center of all of that. And I said one time, I said in this meeting, I said, I just really want to be able to come here, have discussions, and everybody have a nice attitude and just be respectful. If anything, just be respectful, because at the end of the day, I'm not a child. I have a child, but I'm grown, and I don't appreciate anybody talking to me as if I'm a child. So let's just have respect for each other, because I really don't want to have to match energy. And a couple of them was like, amen, okay, I heard that. Yeah. Right? Now, half of them are boomers, right? Which I understand. And I think because they are older, there's a level of respect that needs to be given because of their age. They're set in their ways. So when you talk to them about things that you want to change or implement, you have to do it in a certain way. You can't just be like, well, I think we should be using this because that is outdated. This is her tone, mind you. Mind you, she's an older black lady. She's not a boomer yet, but she's right underneath that boomer. So she's like in her late 50s, maybe, right? And she has a very deep voice, and she talks loud, and it carries. Now, mind you, we're just in a living room type setting, right? And she's the loudest one in the room and always has to interject and always got to question everything. So I said, I don't want to have to match energy. I just want to be able to come here, do a good thing for the community, because I've been on it for 2 years now, because most of my community is black. And we got a lot of kids. I love the kids, even the badass ones, right? But I want to be involved. That way I got eyes and ears on what's happening in the background, so none of my people get shafted. Because I'll be at some of them hearings speaking up for certain people. Like, yo, okay, she was late on that, but that's no reason to take her parking spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm there to advocate for my people. I want to make sure that the community is safe. That's why I do it, right? We did all kind of things in the committee that I'm the chair for. Coat drive, clean up, all kind of stuff. So I'm committed. So can't nobody question my commitment. But when you come in, that's what she need to be. All I saw was holy, but I'm pretty sure you said holy water. Yes, yeah. I'm gonna have to take a gallon of that shit and just on her ass. She been in burnt up and melted and everything else. That's just how wild this woman is, Couch. I promise you. She's very miserable. She likes to brag about all these things that she got, and it's like, good for you. But what are you doing with it? You got all this money. You got all this time. You do all these vacations. Cool. Are you blessing somebody else? Are you blessing somebody else with all that? I doubt it. And then you want to come in here like you on the job. Mind you, when you're on the HOA, it's free. We're not getting paid. So I'm thinking last night, I said, I'm volunteering for my blood pressure to go up. I'm volunteering for mental and emotional stress and damage. Is you stupid? But then the ego in me comes up and says, no, you're not going to let this blaring stop you from doing what it is that you started. Yeah, they do, Couch. They use HOAs to exert control. A team, I damn near did last night. So let me tell you what happened. So we had the conversation in November, and we said, listen, next year, we're going to start a new slate. We're all going to be better to each other. We're all going to do our jobs. We're all going to communicate. We're going to, be respectful, whatever, right? So the Christmas one came. It was short. It was like maybe 30 minutes long. We got through our agenda, and then we ate. Everybody chilled, talked. She wasn't there. It was a nice vibe. Here we go, January. Last night. We just getting started. And this heifer says, What is she saying? All right, now, y'all, we said we was going to be, not having all these side conversations. Now, mind you, I told you her voice is deep and it carries, and she talks loud. And I don't know why she talks loud, but she does. And I want to say maybe she's unaware, but it's been brought to her attention already 3 times that I personally know of. So she's aware. She just don't want to change at this point. She old and set in her ways. So it is what it is. All right, guys. Well, we said that what we was going to do was not having all these can we not have side conversations, because I can't hear what the heck is going on. Mind you, at that moment there was literally nothing happening. Somebody was looking up some information and we all were just kind of waiting, and so maybe one other person was having a conversation, right? But I'm gonna show you how this comes back on her. So I'm just shaking my head and I'm just not looking her way, and I'm just like tapping my foot because I'm already irritated, right? So then another topic comes up and the president is talking about something, but she's clarifying it for this woman, for Blaren. And instead of Blaren letting the president, who was like damn near 80, finish out what she got to say, she's like, I got you. Okay. Like trying to kind of like shut her up. And so my blood is just boiling. I'm like, this bitch is starting already. Like, I can't do this. I can't. Why am I even here? I can't do this. I can't. So then we go on to something else. I ended up addressing the board about the pine needles in my yard, and that get in the top and they get down into my engine. And I said that tree needs to be cut. Just the branches on the side that face the parking lot, they gotta go because it's too much. So I'm talking about that. Then Blaren brings up our contractor and his role. Well, maybe the contract doesn't state that pine needles are the same as leaves, so maybe that's why. So that became a whole nother issue. Mind you, I'm just addressing the board for that one thing. She brought the other stuff into it, which was good because now I'm in charge of contracts anyway. So what happened? Okay. So they're still kind of discussing it, but it has died down yet. But I don't have a resolution for my issue, right? She starts bringing up something completely different. So after she's done asking her dumb question, I said, excuse me, are we done with what I asked for? Because we did say in the beginning that we would do one topic at a time and not over talk and not bring up new stuff when we're still dealing with the last topic. And they're like, no, we didn't actually. Mo, my bad, So then they refer to somebody else, and I'm just like, this bitch. So then this is when it gets gully. We're now on the finances. Who in here? Hey, Cree. I'm talking about this Blaren. That's the black Karen from my HOA board last night. She still got me heated and hot. I prayed last night. I woke up this morning and prayed, and I'm still hot. What up, Gary? Hey, Tawancha. So then, mind you, every other time that they've gotten into it or she's done her thing, I don't say anything. I just stay silent. I get on my phone or I start doodling. Whenever there's a back and forth and they're just repeating the same things over and over and nobody's really feeling each other, I don't even say anything. Right? But last night, your girl wasn't having it. And I think it's just the season in this month where I'm just tired of people taking my kindness for weakness, really. Because when you're nice and you're kind and you try to take the high road and you try to bury the hatchet or turn the other cheek, people think you soft and they think that you ain't gonna match energy. And I warned them 2 months ago, if you act crazy with me, I'm matching energy. And that's just simple as that. Because I'm tired of it. Now, once I get my shit off, I can go back to being Mo. But I don't want to have to continuously getting my shit off in order to prove a point, because what happens is I will stay in that frame. And I don't want my frequency to go all the way down there. I need my shit up here where I'm conscious and aware. You know? What up, Mike? Nice. Who was live last night but nobody was talking? 18? What up, Jarrell? How you doing? Right? So, what happened? Oh, she starts talking about, they start talking about the finance portion and how we want to move money from one account to another and how we need to save money, so this much shouldn't be in this one, right? So literally like 10 minutes of this discourse goes on, and she finds out some information that our office manager had already said literally 3 times. She missed that part. And so I said, not loud enough for everybody to hear, but just loud enough for her to hear. I said, well, if you did more listening than talking, then you probably would have heard her. And she said, excuse me, what did you say? I said, well, you're doing more talking than listening. I said, because she said it 3 times. I heard her. So she was like, now, mind you, she's a black woman, brown skin, short fro. Normally she wears these big ass glasses. They're like as big as mine, probably a little bit bigger, with a thicker prescription, mind you. So she turns her big back to face me, and she's like, so how do you, after she said that, everything that she said, I tuned out. And I'm just looking at her, and I'm tapping my foot. And so she goes in her little diatribe. Well, I didn't hear her because what I heard exactly, because you was too busy running your mouth rather than listening. But if you shut the hell up, you might learn something. So that got her hot. So then we moved on. We're divvying out committee chairs because it's the new year. Some people don't want to do certain stuff anymore. Other people want to do new stuff. Fine. So we're going through the line. Mind you, she volunteering other people. She ain't even done her job the last year. But yeah, she want to be sitting up here divvying out. Well, such and such should probably be on there. How you know what such and such should probably do? It's about who want to do what. Last time I checked, I ain't getting paid to do it. This is me thinking in my head, right? I'm not saying this in the meeting, of course. I ain't that crazy now. I got some decorum about me, okay? So we're divvying out the stuff. And what did she say? It is not coming to me. Oh, contracts committee. Now, mind you, she's a finance lady, right? And she's very good at what she do. Ain't no doubt about it. She knows her, right? I will give her that. I'm going to always give credit where credit is due, whether I like you or not. So she's in the contracts committee, and she's like, well, Mo, you could do that. I'm still ignoring her. I'm just looking away. Because I'm like, I don't want that job. That sounds like a lot. And so somebody else was like, yeah, Mo, I'll help you. It's actually pretty simple. All you have to do is review the contracts, the new contracts at the beginning of the year. And just if something new comes up, whatever, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. I said, well, before I do this, I said, do I have to directly interact with anybody on the Treasury Committee or the Finance Committee? Which is what she's the chair of. And she said, now what? She said, now, did you just say that, you only take it if you don't have to deal with, I said, and did? And she thought I was joking because she had a smile on her face first. And then when I said, and did, and I did kind of mean it in a joking way, but because I was already heated and irritated with her, it just came out direct. And she said, well, okay, she got all stumbled over her words and whatever. But they were like, no, you don't have to. You just have to go through the board for something, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, put me down. And I ended up having to leave early because my son sent me a note saying that he hurt his leg. So I ran across the street back home or whatever. I was like, I got to go. I'll see y'all later, my son. And you know what's crazy is I thought about this thing this morning. I was telling my son how sometimes I get really irritated and frustrated at these meetings because these people are set in their ways and they don't like change. And sometimes it's very unorganized, and it puts me in a bad mood. And he said, well, I can always call you and get you out of there early if you want. So I didn't think about that when he sent me the message. I just ran across the street because I'm like, yo, is he hurt? Because something else happened one time where he ran across the street and knocked on the door and came in, and he was having some problems. So this morning I was like, I wonder if he did that because of that. Because when I got home, he was like, oh, it stopped. He goes, every time something happened when you get here, it's no longer a problem. I don't know what the problem is, Mom. I said, okay. So I thought maybe he did that, or maybe that was just God. You know what I'm saying? Let me hurt his leg just for this month. Let his leg be paining right here so that he could tell her to get out of there before some hit the fan. But of course I got text messages later and stuff like that. Like, are you okay? She was so confused as to why you were being the way that you were, but we all understood why. You was just matching her energy. Who was that? Hey, Life Reality. Can't talk and listen at the same time. You can't. You cannot be talking, running your mouth, and having side conversations that you asked us not to have, and then be doing it. And then get mad when you get called out on it. Sorry. And this is the thing, it's not in my nature to, I normally don't call people out. I usually just harbor and hold it in and let it go. But this month, I'm on one. I don't know. A-Team says you should have stated that nicely in a low tone. Yeah. And I wasn't, listen, I wasn't yelling. I wasn't talking like this in this nice tone, no. But I wasn't loud. And I just said what I had to say right here at this tone here. And I was direct. But when I said you should probably do more listening than talking, I said it just like that. I said, because you doing more talking than listening. That's why you didn't, she said it 3 times. I heard her, just like that. There was no feelings behind it. But I don't know if I'm going to stay on this board, because if somebody like that can get me off of my rocker, can knock me off of my square, having me be something that I normally am not, and it's not in a good way, that's not a good sign. And although I've signed up for all of these things, I recommitted myself to the board, and I committed myself to 2 new jobs on top of the job that I already have, which I really don't have the time to do. I don't. I'm a mama and I'm a full-time student. Like, it's a lot. I'm not trying to work that hard, The newsletter and the website, cool, because that's fun for me. But all that other stuff. So it's like, if I'm volunteering to do this, you're not about to be coming here talking to me crazy. I'm sorry. And now if I'm getting paid for it, you still not going to talk to me crazy, but I can accept it a little bit easier because I'm getting paid to do it. But this is free. This is free labor. Everything we do is free. You're on your way home? Okay. You just coming from the gym? You do what you do from the heart. Yeah. Everything that I do, especially for this board, is from the heart. My job is to make sure that I have eyes and ears inside of that office to know what these people are really up to, right? Because all of them don't look like me. And even the ones that look like me, you got to watch out for them too. Because we had one steal $12,000 4 years ago. So you can't trust nobody, really. And sometimes we treat our other people the dirtiest. I've been on some of them hearings where my bro, You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't side with the lady who literally had a legit reason for why she did what she did. And I'm like, bro, like, accidents happen. Like, we can't let her go for that. We got to have some grace and mercy. So that's my job, is to look out for my people, you know? And if I got to do all these extra little things in order to be in there, own it, I'm going to do that. And it's definitely coming from the heart. But don't take my kindness for weakness. Don't come in there thinking you're going to run the whole thing like you the president. Ma'am, please, hush. And you might learn a thing or two. Read the room. If everybody else is chill and we all just, you need to be. But no, she brings it to here. And it's my fault too for allowing her to get me that worked up. You know, I could have said, excuse me, Blaren. Excuse me, Blaren. I don't really like your tone right now. Can you? Because at one point I almost asked her, can you please lower? Can you? But it wouldn't have came out nice. It wouldn't have. When you are a soul of service, service is rewarding. Very much so. Absolutely. It is. Hey, Joanna Nicole. What up, guy? That was God, because that meeting was about to get chaotic. It probably was. Because she wasn't done, because I could feel her peering at me through them glasses from the side. I could feel it. Fired up Friday. I'm going to let it go, Mike. You are going to have to call her on it until she gets it, because that's rude and immature. It is. Here's the thing. There are literally 3 people that I know that want to quit the committee only because of her. No lie. I've had side conversations with at least 3 people that can't stand her. And one person has already brought her aside and told her about her tone. More than once. So it's not like she's unaware. She honestly is the problem. But I don't want to have to go there with her, because I came in with good energy. I walked in the door. I was like, hey, Happy New Year, everybody. You know, Happy New Year. Sat down, got my paperwork. We were all cordial, said hi. You know? And then the meeting starts, and this lady, too many side conversations, you guys. Can y'all please just stop? Just please. Thank you. This is what she said. Oh, look. I said, who she thinks she talking to? Oh, my God. How you feeling? How you living? BDBGB. I appreciate you. Yeah, you can't make it to every live. Everybody got lives, you know? People got lives. We got stuff that we got to do in real life. So, catching the replay is just as cool as being alive. I know people like to be interacted with, but you know, what they doing? Folks on HOAs are always embezzling money. Yeah. I'm talking about lots of money goes in and out. Lots. You got fines, you know, violations people paying constantly. You got your HOA dues that's coming in. So there's a lot of money coming in and coming out, you know? And it could be so easy. If you have access to the checking account or the money market, any of it, it's so easy. And if you're on tough times, you know, or if you're just greedy, if you love money, it could be so easy, you know. But yeah, that was my HOA board drama. I got an email from her this morning. She's supposed to turn over some contracts. I hope she don't say nothing crazy in that email, because I'm not trying to have no conversation with her. Hopefully she just sent the stuff and that's it. But I'm going to try to have a positive. No, I'm going to have a positive day because God is good. He woke me up this morning. I have no reason to complain. You know what I'm saying? No reason to complain at all. People gon' people, you know? I just know that I can't be in that type of space with that type of energy once a month. It's too taxing on me. It really is. You know what I'm saying? I already got my own issues. I can't add that I just really can't. It's not worth it. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get that out before I swallowed it. Lee Turner, Chitlin Loaf. Thank you. Yes, hit the like button if you're here, all 13 of you. Girl, because I had a time last night, I felt like I deserved some Starbucks today. Okay? See how the mind works? You go through something bad or something good happen, you think you deserve some coffee. That's how I was when I was drinking. Anything bad happened, I'm drinking. It could be the most minor thing. Excuse to drink. So I can't have coffee replace that because I gotta stay off of coffee. I had tea all week. 1 cup of coffee, I think, on Monday. But other than that, tea all week. So this is literally like my second coffee for the week. So no, they don't, Lee Turner. If you don't stop it, everything ain't about chitlins now. This ain't even chitlin season no more. You can't find chitlins in the grocery store right now. Hey, chitlin taco. What you guys got planned? What you guys got planned for Friday and the weekend? I'm about to go on Michael's right now and frame. I bought this when I started doing my channel in my setting, I have it set up. I got the lights in the background. I got my chair and all. I got, you know, my plants and stuff. But it's uncomfortable to sit there. So I don't know how I'm going to do videos from there, but I'll have to figure it out. But anyways, I bought this from an artist at a fair, a festival. And I told my son that I was going to frame it and put it in his room. It's not that big, so what I wanted to do was have it blown up to a big size, poster size, and frame. So I'm going to see if they can do that. If not, we'll keep it in its original and just frame it. But this is going in his room. What do you guys think this means? How do you interpret this? Can you see it? Put it up here above the chat. How do you guys interpret that? When I seen it, I was like, oh, the colors are amazing. The message that I get out of it is just beautiful. So this is going in my son's room. I've been working on redecorating his room. I haven't been able to do it all at once because of my health issues, but one thing at a time, you know? But what do you guys see here? It's beautiful. Fix a Drink Friday. R&B Live Saturday. I know that's right, Mike Nice. Gonna enjoy this 76 degree. Where you at, Lee Turner? Y'all, it was 69 yesterday and like 71 or something like that the day before. I was like, God is so good. God is so good. Now, I know it's global warming, but God controls all of it. Don't ever get it confused. Don't you ever get it confused. This is God. God said, my baby girl needs some sunshine and some sunlight in her. Because I tell you what, the sun makes all the difference for me. I don't take, you know, mood stabilizers or nothing like that. So I need natural forms to get me feeling better. And the sun is one. So if I could be outside in the sun, fresh air, it does something to my soul. It can change me from being irritated to happy, just like that. You know, after a good 30 minutes of just sun exposure, it's just So this weather is beautiful. God did that for me. I know that for a fact. Go to Staples. We don't, Staples is in a whole nother city. We ain't got Staples over here. We got Office Max and Michael's. Should I go to Office Max? Last time I had them copy a picture and make it big, the pixels didn't turn out right. So I'm like, do I want to go to them for this? Maybe if they printed on a poster board. Maybe it was the type. And the lady in there is really, really nice. Oh, you in South Kakalaka? Okay. I was just out there from our friend's Chief Master Sergeant promotion. I was just out there. What, about 4 or 5 months ago? Where was she at? I can't remember what base is out there. Yeah, and then I saw my cousin that lives in Goose Creek, which is Charleston, basically. And my grandfather's from Charleston. Well, he grew up in Charleston. But on that trip, I found out that that they're not actually from Charleston. My grandfather's from Bamberg. And they migrated to Latson, which is Charleston, South Carolina, when he was a baby. He was like 3 or so. Yeah, so apparently some cousins or brothers of his parents were teachers, and they had a school. And so they came and migrated out to Latson. And that's where he grew up. And so he left for the military at 16. So, yeah. South Carolina. South Carolina is a good time. It's just too hot and humid for me. I love it out there. It's beautiful. I love the water. Food, of course. But I don't know. I don't know. Either you like Michael's? Yes. Shaw. Yes. I think it was Shaw. Yeah. There's another one out there too, ain't it? Is it Shaw? Yeah, I think so. It was like hour and a half, 2 hours from Charleston. But yeah. So my son was one of 5 kids from his school picked to sing in the All-City Musical. So I bought him his little button-up shirt. He's got a bow tie with his little khaki pants. Oh, he tried it on last night. He just looked so cute. So what I had to do, because they don't want the kids wearing their outfits all day, because the concert is tonight. It's going to be in this big, beautiful hall where they actually have concerts at. So I'm like, well, this is a big deal. So the songs that they're singing is Don't Stop. And my son was like, Don't Stop Believing. That's my jam. I was like, no, it ain't. Not that Don't Stop. So he's sitting there singing that one, playing that one on his iPad. I was like, son, you memorizing the wrong song. You got to go back to Don't Stop by, is it Michael McDonald maybe? And then the other song, I can't remember. But they're all inspirational. I mean, it's good getting good messages to keep you going, you know? So he has to memorize those two. And then I guess he's singing chorus for another grade background or something. I don't know. Here's a whole breakdown. But it's going to be a whole 45-minute ordeal. Hopefully I get some good pictures. I might post them. But I love it when my son is always, you know, picked out of his school to do big things. You know, he's done this before. Some of his art was displayed in the museum downtown one year. And then one year he was recognized as a star student. So it was like 10 out of his school. 8 out of his school. It's like 8 out of all of the elementary schools. He was recognized for that. So every year he just continues to impress me. Like, and that's why I tell him, like, but the thing is, when my kid does something really, really great, he F's up really, really great too. So it's like it balances out. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do with you because you're doing great in these areas. But then you turn around and lie to me. And one thing I don't like is a liar. He knows that. A liar and a thief. Once somebody steals something from you, it's like, that hurts deep. It's like, I can't describe, it's like betrayal. And even though it's material and you didn't need it anyway, or you did need it and they took it, it's a different kind of hurt, you know? And sometimes I equate lying with that. Because, you know, just like the old folks used to say, if you lie, you'll steal. And if you steal, you'll kill. And I believe it. There's levels to this. Satan don't just stop at one thing. He got to get you to take it all the way. So when he lies to me, it hurts really bad. Because I'm like, you don't even have to. Like, he'd be scared to ask me for simple stuff. And I'm just like, why are you scared? The answer is either yes or no. And if it's no, guess what? It ain't the end of the world. You gonna get it later. Lee Turner says, I live up the street. Oh, you live up the street from Shaw. Oh, man. You was down the street, bruh. Thanks, Mike Nice. Way to go, Bishop. For Real Friday. Don't lie. Just don't lie to me. Just keep it real. People always say women don't like to be told the truth. That's not true. It may hurt and we may use it against you for a while, but that don't mean we can't handle the truth or that we don't want the truth. Well, maybe it means we can't handle it because of the way we respond and react to the truth. But we definitely can take it. And honestly, during these times, women want honesty. We want, even if it's gonna hurt, just be honest, you know? And at the end of the day, that is going, if it hurts, that means maybe there's some truth to it and it'll get your gears running. You're not going to admit it at first, but you're planting the seed like, oh, maybe I do need to change how I talk to my man, or maybe I need to, you know what I'm saying? So always be honest. Don't sugarcoat, don't lie. You know? Tell the truth. Don't lie to me. I want the truth. And most of the time when the woman asks you a question, she already know the answer. She already know the answer to that thing. So just go ahead and be honest. You know? Where was you at Saturday, March 14th at 2:30? And if she got that look on her face, she already know. So just be honest. You know? This accountability thing is crazy. We just got to start being more accountable. That's really what it is. Hard to do, but it's an easy concept. Sorry. My phone got hot. See how warm it is? See? It's warm today. I was glitching. My bad. Or maybe I do need to back up from the table and exercise. Yeah, who's innocent? No, lies, 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 lies. But back to accountability. Lying or omitting the truth is never the answer. I don't care who you're talking to. It really isn't. Because it doesn't help the person. In fact, it's enabling them, you know? And when it comes to men lying to females to protect their feelings, really what you're doing is you're protecting yourself. You're not protecting the female. You're afraid of the reaction from the female, so you don't say what it is that you really want or need to say. That's a form of manipulation. You're not being honest. I understand some people are sensitive. Me, I'm a critical person, so therefore I am very sensitive. Some people have said some stuff to me that still hurts to this day. And I'm like, damn. Ooh, that hurt. I mean, I'm over it now. But in some instances, I needed to hear it because it sat with me. And it was like, well, damn, maybe I need to fix X, Y, and Z. You know? So yeah, it's going to hurt. But I saw a meme that said, yes, it may hurt their feelings, but God will take care of them. You still have to do what you need to do in order to take care of yourself. So in the midst of you taking care of yourself, it may hurt them a little bit, but God will take care of that. And he does. He does. I was hurt, but guess what? God brought something to me that said, hey, listen. Yes, it was me, and I will protect your heart. But guess what? You got work to do, you know? So I think honesty is the best policy. You know, we don't want to just be cruel and say things that, you know, is going to hurt somebody that they can't control or help. Like if they're short, you know, and you come at them because they're short, stuff like that. No. But as far as character, we're always talking about character. I don't care nothing about the physical, all of that. That means that means absolutely nothing. It's all about character, how we treat each other. And when you telling somebody something that they need to hear, it needs to be done in love. You know? But I'm not with the manipulation. I'm not with the lying just to get so you can get what you want. People be lying about who they are, catfishing, and you know, lying about the things that they have and things that they've done and things they gon' do just to be able to have access to a person in their body. And I don't like that. I told my friend one time, I said, how about next time you try being honest with the woman that you're dating and let her know you're actually dating other women as well? Because he was having a problem with women getting too clingy and attached and wanting a title very soon, because he treats his women very good when he goes out on dates, things like that. He calls, checks on. He's very engaged. He asks questions. He's just a cool dude. You guys know Joe, who's been on here with me before. So I told him, I said, I think sometimes you just be doing too much. You know, like, it's good that you treat women with respect and that, you know, you take them to nice places and stuff like that, but you're gonna have to dial back how much you do, just a little bit, because women are gonna want that all the time. So they want to lock it down, they want to seal it in. And then when you make a woman feel that way, she's gonna open her legs, because it's like natural for us to want to give you a part of us, right? Yes, we be horny, but it's not like a man treats you good and you feel like, ooh, he can protect me, he can provide for me. The quickest way to get in a woman's pants, right? You make her feel secure. Yeah, right? Not saying it's right. I think everybody should wait till marriage. But if you can't wait, make sure that that person wants a commitment. So the problem is these women are giving up their body without the commitment, thinking that it's going to come, right? And so I said, how about you just stop screwing him? But he's like, why would I do that? When he was like, well, why would I do that? He goes, but you know, they get in this way after that happens. It's like, yeah, because now you my man. You my man. So yeah, they want a title. They just gave you, you know? So I said, but let me tell you this. I said, he said, well, where's the accountability on their part? They can just easily not give it up if they so worried about their hearts and they so worried about, you know, um, being played, or, you know, not being able to get into a commitment after they've given it up. Where's the accountability on their part? I said, touche. You got it, my brother. You're right. Women should be held accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable and not give in to our lust, period, right? I said, but hey, how about this? How about you do your part and let these women know that she's not the only one that you're messing with? I want to see how that fares out. You let me know how that goes and see if she still give it up. I bet you she'll guard her heart then. Oh, he's got options and he's out here he was making me feel special, but turns out he actually makes everybody feel special. Yeah, you know? But men ain't gonna do that. Ain't no man gonna be like, hey, baby girl, before we do this, I want you to know I like you a lot, but this is just what this is. And to be honest, you're not the only one that I'm doing this with. If a man told a woman that, there would be less sexual encounters. I promise you that. There are some women that can handle it and they're okay with that, right? But I have a feeling that most will not. Who's modding? Oh, Michael Love in here. Hey, Michael Love. Happy Friday. How you doing? A-Team says, sadly, lots of females are not used to good treatment. Yes, and that's something that we talked about this on my channel before. How he's understanding, how he now understands what a lot of women go through out there. He said the stories he's heard from women about the things that they've went through dating men. He said it's crazy. He said he couldn't even imagine because Joe's a good dude, he's a good man. And so for him to hear what these guys are doing, it kind of broke his heart. He was like, he was like, yo, it's a lot of dusty men out here that just are foul, you know? So, yeah, the man may never say that to them. It's in their head. Most of these females have rotating. Yeah, you're right. I don't know about most 18, but a lot of them do. People always say, oh, women have a man for money and a man for sex, and then a man to like fix things around the house. Or there's a simp to come out and care for the kids or whatever. That ain't true. But I may just be speaking from me because that's not me. I've never done that. I'm so sorry, y'all. As soon as I go outside, these allergies be killing. Factual Friday. Mike Nice and his themes. He be on it. Yes, females will give it up. Some give it up for a donut. Ciao. Ciao. Some give it up just to be able to hit the blunt. You let me hit the blunt, I'm, you know, crazy. And they don't even get satisfied. The man do his thing and that's it. He ain't worried about you enjoying it or nothing. Ain't that some Ooh, I'm glad I'm not back in them days. Yeah. I've been pretty lucky with the type of men that I've given my attention to. I've been pretty blessed. I ain't gonna lie. My trouble started when I started getting on these apps. I got on these apps. Now I will tell you, I did have two really, really good guys that I met on the apps. Two really good guys. But it just wasn't, he was a little younger, and every time he got paid, he brought me flowers, cheese, and a bottle of red wine. Every time he got paid. Oh, he was so sweet. He just couldn't hit it right. I just couldn't hit it right. I spent 5 months with him. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I couldn't. Mm-mm. I can't remember the other. But I got off the apps for like 5 years, and then I started back. And every man from there has been hell. HELL. The last one, I said, I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. And that was, shoot, before I deployed, 2019. 2019 was the last time I was on them apps. Never again. Absolutely. I wouldn't suggest it to my worst enemy. I could hate your guts, and I would tell you, girl, don't do it. Don't you do it now. If you ain't never listened to nothing I ever said, don't you dare get on them apps. Like Mr. from the Color Purple. Hey, Theo Saka. Believe me, Mo, 98.9% only want Joe for security. Joe must guard himself. I think maybe in these days, the young ones, like the modern daters, a lot of them are dating for security. But 18, we have to be honest too. Most women want security. Is that a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. Even back in the day, your daddy wasn't introducing you or giving you his blessing, that man's hand in marriage, if he couldn't provide. So what's wrong with wanting it now? I think the problem is more women are vocal about it. Back then, you didn't speak about it. It was just an unwritten rule. You know, you didn't go out saying, well, my daughter has to have 5 cows and 10 sheep before she marry. But it was already unspoken. You knew if you came before that father, you had to have something, or you were on your way, or you were next in line to take over X, Y, and Z. He's not just going to give you to a bum, you know? And now women are saying, I don't want a bum. Is there a better way to say it? Of course. And I honestly don't think a woman should put all her cards out there on the table. Don't put your cards out there and on the table. Let that man be who he is. And then if you don't like it, move on. But trying to change a man and telling him that his bus driving job ain't enough, he need to own a fleet of buses in order for you to consider him, that's bull. That I don't believe. But there are a lot of women out here that make money. I know a lot of them. And not all of them are military. That do pretty well for themselves. You know, most of them are married. The ones that aren't, they're not materialistic like that. They ain't on social media showing up their bodies and talking about a man got to do X, Y, and Z. But they know what they desire. And every woman, I don't care who you are, you want provision and protection, period. You want to know that if something happened, he got you. I'm sorry, he got you. There's nothing wrong with wanting help. If you down on your luck and you sleeping in the bed with this nigga, yeah, he better be doing something. He better be giving some sort of security. Yeah, smash the like button. Find another way. Find somebody else to do it. Most people want security and stability. Yeah, facts. That's right, Osaka. I think 18 means too, also just because there's a lot of entitlement that comes with it, right? It's not even that they want it, because everybody deserves, you know, that, well, you deserve what you deserve what you deserve. I say it like that. Everybody don't deserve the best of the best. I'm gonna tell you that right now because their character ain't in line. But I think it's the entitlement and expecting it off the bat that is problematic, you know. So 18 has a point. They want 98% want security, but I think it's the attitude behind it. You have to be modest. You have to be humble. You can't come in a relationship demanding it. Oh, I charge people $1,000 to talk to me just to even get my phone number. Bitch, what? Who the are you? No. Kruger says it was an unspoken rule to have security in them. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Osaka says the only sociopaths and psychopaths create and want chaos and confusion in their lives. Yeah, they do. 18 says it's a bad thing when you use a man for security. It's screwing Pookie and Ray Ray. Yeah, that part. I think you misunderstood. Yeah, I got you. I got you, 18. I got you. I wasn't trying to combat what you were saying. Um, it's that part too. I just with that one thing with that statement, 18, I think we can branch off into many different things, right? So I was just coming at it from a standpoint of women in general, and when we're getting in a relationship with a man, right? Because men are higher, men are superior to women in certain aspects, right? So if the man is the leader, of course we desire that protection. Everybody wants that. And vice versa. The man wants to make sure that he's safe with her. He got to be able to go to bed and close his eyes at night and know that when he wake up, his Rolex is gonna still be on the nightstand, and the kids and the dog is not gonna be packed up and gone, right? So they both require that. But I think with that conversation, we could talk about a myriad of things. And I was just speaking on it from a historical standpoint of what was required back then. It just hasn't changed, you know, but we're definitely on the same page. I feel you. But yeah, and then you got the women, like she said, giving it up to the dusty, but then they want the good man. I had a friend that did that once, sleeping with a man that did not want her at all. This dude literally told her, I don't like you like that. This is just, but she kept giving it up to him. But then when she met a dude that actually really liked her and took her out on a date, she was like, I just don't like him like that. And I'm like, but Dominique, that was his name. But Dominique actually, Dominique ain't S. Why are you still? Because it's good, Mo. She said, you just don't understand. I said, well, according to T, he's garbage. So what? You must really be in love with him because she said his trash. You said it's good, but you got Point Dexter over here who actually like you, took you out on a nice date, and you making him wait. Well, yeah, because I'm screwing. And I want him to think. I mean, and she was just blatant and out with it. She didn't sugarcoat. No, she was just like, I want him to see the good side of me. I don't want to give it up because I don't want him to get the wrong impression of me. But your girl got needs. I'm gonna go over here to Dominique. No, he don't want me, but the sex is good, so it is what it is. I said, wow. And this was when I first came in the military. This was back in 2002. 2000. I came in 01. This was in 2002. And I was like, damn. And that was my first interaction with somebody that actually did that. I didn't know that was a thing. That you hold off for the guy you actually like and want to look at you in a certain light, but then you'll give it up to the one that don't want you like that. I was mind blown. I couldn't believe it, honestly. You chilling out? Yeah, she said that's only 1.9. IT. I see it all the time right here in South Carolina. Females ruin good men for the street men. Yeah, we were just having this conversation the other day on the Words channel, or no, Gary's channel, Gary Brown. And it was like, you know, one woman can ruin a man for the rest of his life. He could date, fall in love, and then that one woman could do him dirty, and he will never trust women again. And so the women that he deal with after that have to deal with that broken man because of women like that ruin it, that ruin good men. But at this point in time, 18, not to be contrarian, I just think too that we all have to do better. And I think that a lot of, like, at the end of the day, we need our men. Now listen, don't think this is a man hate channel. Now I am MSD, right? 50% MSD. But men have to start taking more accountability as well. We ask the women to take accountability. The men got to take accountability too for their brokenness and for their hurts and pains. And they have to process that shit and get it out so that the next woman that they deal with, she's able to get a clean slate. She's not looked at as one that, you know, once you get all that junk out, you've processed it, done the shadow work, and you're better, you can see clearly and you'll be able to figure out which woman is for you and which one ain't. You got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your princess, just like for the women. But I think it's not fair to say one person did this to me or ruined me. Now I'm a dog. Now I'm going overseas. Now I'm gonna treat women like 304. It's like, I think that's a cop out. It's a cop out for not really dealing with what you got going on. Because then you got the blame game. And I know a lot of men are hurt, and there's a lot of tramps out here that do a lot of um, ratchet and ruthless things, setting up men, all kind of stuff. It's a dirty game. Ooh, it's a dirty game out there, you know. Um, but I don't like it when women are generalized um, and made to be something that a lot of women aren't. Nobody or no creature on planet Earth wants to feel unsafe, and that's right, the Osaka. Yeah, Ocean Messenger. Hey, Osaka says A teams. Bad people use good people all of the time in this. Yeah, they do. For various reasons, it's definitely wrong, but that behavior is not gender specific. You damn right. I don't think she was just saying that it was just she was just focusing on women at that particular point too. And that's another thing when we are conversing and having communication and talking. I think we have to get to a point where we shouldn't have to say men do this, women do that, but then we also have to preface it with some, but not all, or I'm only talking about women, not to say that men don't. I don't think we should have to do that. I think when we're having these conversations, it's common knowledge that both genders be doing some foul shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a team. I got you. I let you. Don't be mad at me. We just living in a corrupt and hateful world. We are, and it's not gonna get better. The Bible tells us that. So buckle up, Buttercup. Hey, Couch. He's a good man, Savannah. Good man. He was, but it wasn't good enough for me. I was young and dumb, and it was all about being pleased. That was my thing, which is wrong. Would I take it back? Hell no. I still wouldn't change a thing. I would not. No, no, no. He was half German and half white, half German and half black. And he was a dual citizen. He lived in Germany. He lived in Georgia, back and forth. Well, he hadn't been to Georgia since he was a child, but he spoke German. He was cool. He was like 6'6". He was tall. That's why I say them tall men. It ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. He broke my bed one time, child. I said, you gonna fix this. So I went and got some screws. He's down there screwing it because he was like 240, 6'6". It was ridiculous. And I used to tell him, I was like, you should probably date a white girl. I said, have you tried dating? He was like, no, I date black people. Black people understand me. I said, okay, okay, okay. We was Facebook friends for a while. Who he ended up marrying. I said, you better go, Raymond. You better do it, Raymond. She was cute too. A teams. I see it all the time right here in South Carolina. The who provides goes to work. And the no good baby father can come. Ooh, that's treacherous. Ooh, karma. That's why, I see a lot of this crazy stuff online. I don't envy none of it. I don't envy these people. I don't envy these situations. I don't get it. I just to have the guts to do something like that in the bed that your man pays for. Cold piece of work. It never turns out good. And then a lot of these women, so this is the thing too, I talked about this before. I did a whole video about these women that use men in various ways and how this femicide epidemic is partially a direct reflection of the way that these women are treating these men. You come up missing, all this good stuff, pew pew, but when you hear the backstory of this pew pew, you understand why a lot of it is happening. I don't approve of that, but I understand that people are not getting the mental health that they need. A lot of people aren't processing trauma, so they're holding it in. So their emotional intelligence is at an all-time low. Their emotional regulation is nil. There was a girl that worked at a fast food restaurant. She got into it with one of the guys there. He was trying to tell her what to do, or he wasn't working. He wasn't doing that. It was time. They had already been bickering back and forth. This was a story online. They had already been bickering back and forth. This happened like maybe 6 months ago. Bickering back and forth throughout the shift. Come time to close and clean up, he didn't want to clean up a certain portion. So he's telling her, I ain't doing that. And she's like, yes, you are, because I already got X, Y, and Z. Instead of just letting it go, he said something slick. Do you know this bitch picked up a pan and hit him with it? She hit him with a heavy pan. I think they said she threw it at him and it hit him. Dude said, poof, poof, poof. Now, did it warrant that? No. But I think we can all understand how it got there, right? People don't know how to keep their mouths closed. That's why it was good that Bishop texted me. Because ain't no telling what else I might have said to her. She might have been packing, blaring at the meeting, you know? And I usually bring mine, but I'm glad I didn't have it with me. I would have never done nothing like that. Absolutely not. And normally when I have it on me, it actually keeps me at a more calm level because I know what I have on me. So I usually try to keep everything at a, at an even keel, at a real cool, calm, and collective, because I don't want to get into a point where I feel threatened. My interaction with her was all just female estrogen, emotional bullshit going back and forth, right? Tit for tat type stuff. It wouldn't have never escalated like that. But normally when I go into my meetings, I usually have it with me because you have a lot of people in our community who have fines, who have things. They got beef with the board, certain board members. They got beef with our office manager. I've had to stand up in between two people before. So I usually bring it with me just in case somebody come in wanting to, act stupid. If they packing, then I have to protect myself, right? But I don't even know how the hell we got here. I don't know how we got here. Hey, Thunder, the green logbook. Green logbook. I was talking about my lack of emotional regulation at my HOA board meeting last night. This lady got the best of me. Well, she didn't get the best of me. I didn't curse. I didn't do anything like that. But I had to tell her about herself because she thinks she in there running. You might know her. She worked for the government, but she's a black Karen, so we calling her blaring. A-Team says, will that female give him a clean slate and not punish him for what previous men have done to her? Exactly. That's the thing, too. I mean, it goes both ways. You know, women have to stop punishing their current guys for the things that their past lovers and husbands and things like that did. You know, honestly, I've just seen it more so on the male side. On the male side, a lot of women are able to get over a lot of hurt and stuff like that. Um, hence why women take men back over and over again, until they just can't take it no more. But yeah, and people in general do harbor resentment, and then they project it onto their next partner, which is just unfair. So if you're dating and your last one hurt you, that's why it's been 4 years for me, because that last one I had never seen no shit like that before in my life. I said, do people actually have the nerve to, like, people are bold. And I'm just like, so now I know what to look for, and another level of things that I just don't, I know I'm not going to be able to deal with, because I know what it could lead to. Will it? Who knows? But just to even eliminate that possibility, certain things I'm not looking for. Men with the king mindset. Yeah, that's what we need. No tall man slander. No. I'm not slandering. Listen, I've dated a couple that were, I dated a guy that was 6'2", a guy that was 6'1", a guy that was 5'11", 5'10", 5'8", and 5'6". All varying degrees of things. So no slander. I don't hold one height to a certain standard or expectation at all. So no tall male slander. Shout out to the tall kings. I can never be mad you for speaking your truth or having me think beyond my mind. That's what's up, A-Tang. I knew you understood me. I knew you wouldn't be mad. I know two men that were deleted for that, and the providing man did not do time. One of the men took the wife back because he loved her so much. That's what you call a simp. They don't get enough until it happens to them, until it's too late. Lots of times we play a huge part in our own demise. Absolutely. We can be our own worst enemy. Like G Money said, I knew I should have treated you like that $2.304 past Nino Brown the phone. Yeah, he did. He got on the phone. You nigga? She answered the phone. You nigga? Is that you? Pass Nino the phone, you $2. Oh, man. She wanted Nino the whole time. She used G Money to get to the big fish. Did we ever find out who Nino Brown's Connect was? Who was Nino Brown's Connect? Because I don't think we ever seen Nino Brown's Connect. I know he was doing business with the Italians. But did we ever know who Nino's Connect was? That's one of my favorite movies. Nope. No more app dating. Hell no. Nah. I wouldn't tell my worst. I wouldn't tell Blaren to get on the apps. I would not. I would be so nice to advise her, don't do it. If I did, I would refer her to Plenty of Fish or Tagged. Those are the lowest of the low. If you go on there, you're going to find everything from dust to sand on them apps. The worst, raggediest apps. So if I was to refer her to one, it would be that. Or I'd be like, ooh, you should try Tinder. You would enjoy Tinder. It's for Tinder people, nice and sweet like you. Yeah, Blair, and try Tinder. See what you come up with. It is a classic. Absolutely. Absolutely. One of my faves. One of my faves. I had a question about something that happened in that movie too. I was thinking about the other day, but I can't remember now because I'm old. But anyways, y'all, I've been on here 82 minutes. I gotta go. Thank you for helping me process and get that out. I feel better today. I'm going to respond to her email. I'm going to be very respectful. And I'm going to go to the next meeting with a better mindset. And I'm not going to allow her to trigger me. I'm going to do my best to just keep my mouth shut. If my blood starts to boil and I feel the urge, I'm going to excuse myself and go to the bathroom or go and smoke and then come back. Maybe something like that. But if it continues to get me emotionally and mentally in a place that I'm normally not, especially during this season, even though I've committed to certain things, I don't have to put myself through anything because I committed. I have a right. I have the autonomy to say no, I can't do it. Find somebody else to do it because I come first. My stability, my health comes first. Have you ever been into an argument or had a disagreement with somebody and your chest is just I can feel my heart beating, like I can feel it, and my blood is just and I'm sitting there listening to this lady tapping my feet and my blood is boiling because she has that condescending tone that's deep and loud and it carries throughout the room, and it's just like, do you have to talk so loud? I can't deal with that on a monthly basis and then also throughout the week if we have business to I'm not putting myself through that. So I'm gonna give it to February, March, maybe through the next season so I could get out that first newsletter, and then if it's still a problem, I gotta let it go and I'll just come to the meetings as a spectator, as just a homeowner in the neighborhood, just to see what's happening. But we gonna see. Did you see the new dating app? No. What's it called? Thunder? Something with Nate in it? Nate's Delight? Nate, I'm in a bind. I'm in a bind, Nate.com. I'm in a bind, Nate.com. Is that it, Thunder? That would be hilarious. But no more dating apps for me. Absolutely not. I'm sorry, but you get the worst of the worst on the things. I am so sorry. And I'll tell you this: the older I got, and after I had a child, those two things. That's why you have to savor your youth. You have to settle down when you're young. People preach this all the time. When you get older and you start looking for quality, and you already have a child, I don't care how bad you look. Bad isn't good because that's the term. They switch stuff, right? I don't care how much of a bad bee you are. I was watching this Pop the Balloon, and the prettiest girl, everything on her was just, I mean, body beautiful, banging, small, petite, hair laid, makeup perfect, not too much, not too little, just perfect. Everything about her was just nice, classy. She said she was in fashion, but she had a child. And the one guy that she actually was interested in, when he found out she had a 10-year-old, he was like, no. So I don't care how bad of a bee you are. I don't care how much you got going on for yourself. Having that child, that drops you down tremendously. And the type of men that you're going to attract is not going to be what you want. So if you're young, stay young, youthful, don't have kids until you find the one and you guys lock it in and you marry. Marry before you carry. I am a walking public service announcement. PSA here. Marry before you carry. Because when I said I found two that were cool on the apps that was actually treating me good, that was before I had my child. All of the ones that I met after I had my child, trash. Maybe one that was cool, but he was too old. But everybody else, trash. The quality one that you want, I've met some nice men since I've had my child. I'm not gonna lie, I have met some nice ones, right? But they wanted something that I couldn't give. I just couldn't. I couldn't, So I wasn't ready. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that when you have kids, see, a lot of people are loosey gooseys when they're young and free, right? Having a child does help to bring maturity in some people never grow up, right? Because they haven't addressed certain things. That childhood trauma lays dormant, and you can tell by the actions that they make in life, right? But a lot of times, having children and having to straighten up and fly right immediately, it does something, it unlocks something in your brain to where now you kind of want, stability and responsibility. So don't blame women for wanting a straight and narrow guy after she didn't already gave her womb away to Pookie. A lot of women understand now what's important. It's unfortunate that they had to have a child in order for them to understand what's good and what's needed in a relationship. But because of that child, the women are going to suffer. And it just is what it is. It just is what it is. So have a kid if you want to, but your options are going to be slim. And the people that's going to be attracted to you ain't going to be what you attracted to, period. And that's just the way it goes. You too, A team. Have a beautiful day. The bind bone. I can't with you, Thunder. You too, Mike Nice. He said, well, most. I know that's right. Your attitude and character does also. Yeah. Thunder says, too old Rufus needed love to just because he used to be a Tuskegee Airman should be held against him. Yeah, he need love too. Everybody need love. But I promise you this, if you you have to go to the source. It all starts with the Most High. The Most High has carried me through this. I've had moments of loneliness and awkwardness and all of that, but guess what? God has carried me through and I'm still here. Being alone, it ain't killed me yet. So it's okay to be alone. It really is. It gives you a chance to get closer to the Most High, honestly, because you're not distracted with what you gonna cook for him, and then I'm raising my son, and I'm fine. Do I get lonely sometimes? Yeah, but like I said, the Most High sustains me, so it's not impossible. Give your kitty a rest, ladies. It does wonders. It does wonders for your skin. It does wonders for your mind, body, and soul. You become more creative when you close that off. You do things that you've been putting off and wanting to do. You know, there's perks to that until you meet the right one. Mind you, I'm talking to me. But if you can relate and can appreciate it, hey, everything I say on here, I'm talking to me. I can really care less what y'all do. But I love you and I want the best. Absolutely. I hope everybody hit that like button. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. I got 1,800 subs. Whoop, 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 whoop. So I'm happy about that. 1,800, 802. Hopefully those two don't drop off. But we'll see what it do. Yeah, hey team. Yeah, close them legs. Close them. Yes, there is a difference, Thunder. That's right. There's a difference between being lonely and being alone. I'm alone. There's moments of loneliness, right? Because that's an emotion. And that's normal. You can even be in a relationship with somebody and still feel lonely, right? But that's something on the inside that you got to look at and figure out, well, why? What do you have to do for self in order to feel better? And that's what I do. I feel all that loneliness and I feel that with what God gives me. And then I do other things to keep my mind off of that, and it works. If you hold off from going through that what is it called, a black book, going through your Rolodex, looking at names, nah, don't do it. Just don't. It ain't. Ugh. Just think about why you're not with that person no more. That's the key. Think about why you don't f with them no more, and that right there should be enough to stop you from sending that hey big head text, right? Trust in God, and he'll send you who you're supposed to have, or he might not. You know, he might not, but that's okay. It ain't gonna kill you. I know lots of women who've died alone, and that's okay because God sustained them. It's about where you go after we leave this body. That's the most important thing. I did say Rolodex. Oh, school. Yeah, not the Rolodex. They don't know what a Rolodex is, Mike Love. But I will tell you this: most of the demographic that watches me, honestly, is from 35 to 54. I think is what it said. So y'all know what a Rolodex is. Become in tune with self. Being without a mate gives you the opportunity to really figure out more of who you are. Once you know who you are, you'll know what you want and don't want. But you can't figure that out or have the time alone because you're too busy trying to get him and his attention to validate who you think you are right now. But if you ain't got nobody, you can reflect. You know? Can't do that with no man up under you. Because you constantly thinking about that man. Because I know I did. Oh, I got to make sure my legs are shaved. I got to make sure I cook his favorite. I got to make sure. Oh, it's his lunchtime. Let me text him to make sure. Everything about this person. Oh, I'm going to plan a really cute date night for us. I can see it right now. You know, this would be for men we ain't even in a committed relationship with. Doing too much. Too much. Hey, Frank Brown. I'm not smoking on my live today, Frank Brown, all because of you. because I got my coffee, and a coffee and my smoke is the best thing. But I said no. I said Frank Brown told me indirectly in one of his videos it don't make no sense smoking on your video. How you gonna talk about how good God is and you up here doing something that he, should be delivering you from? So I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm still working on it. I hope all is well. Seek ye first. That part. Trouble comes, that ain't from God. That's right. That is right. Frank Brown, you came in on the end. I don't know if you've been listening earlier, but I gotta go run some errands. And then my son is performing tonight. So I'm excited about that. But God is good. I love you guys. I hope that you have a great, great Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good weekend. If you're working, be safe. If you're chilling with family, have fun. Savor the moment. Be grateful that God woke you up. And do something nice for somebody today. Do something for somebody other than yourself. If you can. Even if it's just a, hey, how you doing? Sometimes that makes the world a difference. The world a difference. When I was down and out and couldn't drive or walk or do anything like that, there was a couple of people from the program that called me or texted me. I was like, hey, I'm just checking on you. Are you good? Do you need anything? I didn't need anything, but just that message alone was like, wow. So if somebody popped into your head this morning or over the last week and you forgot to message them, just send them a quick message. Hey, how you doing? And mean it. If you don't mean it, don't bother. It has to come from the heart. Let it come from the heart. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.